This is news always on. The baby twitches his legs in pain. He's crying, but he's so dehydrated his eyes can't produce tears. His belly is inflated, as taut as a balloon. You can easily count the 12 rows of protruding ribs on his rapidly palpitating chest. The video filmed by a doctor shows 8-month-old Fadl suffering not from disease, but from starvation. 3 years into a civil war, Yemen is starving and could soon start to see widespread death from famine. Houthi rebels hold the country's north, and a Saudi-led coalition, armed and backed by the US, has sought to bomb the rebels into submission with the relentless air campaign in support of the Yemeni government. Some 400,000 children are fighting for their lives in a dire state of hunger, severe acute malnutrition, the stage of swollen bellies and twig-like arms that are signs that the body is eating away at itself for lack of nutrients and proteins. In Yemen, around 2.9 million women and children are accidentally malnourished, a stage just a step away from that. 5-year-old Asaf survives on 800 calories a day from bread and tea, half the normal amount for a girl her age. Her mother, Yahya Haja, says they are too poor to afford nutritional food. Quote, "The children of the neighbors have something to eat, but my daughter doesn't eat but bread and tea. I feel saddened." Goma Mohammed, a displaced woman, says she can't afford food. She said, quote, "I don't even have a rial. I wish, but I don't even have breakfast." Fadl's mother, Fatma Halabib, recalled the life before the war in their remote village of Moza, overlooking Yemen's Red Sea coast. In those days, the family had fish and vegetables often. Her husband, who's a woodcutter, could make the equivalent of $4 a day. Mosul was in the hands of Houthi rebels for most of the war. Last year, government forces descended on the area to drive the rebels out. The fighting and airstrikes sent the population fleeing, most of them scattering across the Great Valley, the arid plains spilling down from the mountains towards the city of Mocha on the Red Sea. Separated from her husband, Halabib led her 4 children and 2 goats across the Great Valley. These desolated stretches are historically a site of death. More than 400 years ago, a Muslim ruler forcibly sent almost the entire Jewish population of Yemen here for refusing to convert. Chronicles say 2/3 of them died in the heat and deprivation. Halabi and the children hid in thorn bushes to avoid artillery and airstrikes along the shifting front line. One day in April last year, she went into labor and, alone, gave birth to Fadl under a tree. Eventually, she and her husband reunited and settled in an abandoned hut in the valley. They often eat one meal in the morning and nothing again until the next day. In nearby Abyan, Ashwat Muhammad says her family faces the same challenge. She said, "In one day, we skip 2 meals and eat 1 meal. Last time was 3 days ago when we ran out of food." A doctor in the hospital said he has seen 600 malnutrition cases over the past 10 months. But it's so short on supplies, it doesn't even have pain relievers for headaches. It has no therapeutic feeding center. None of its doctors have been trained in treating malnutrition. Left untreated, prolonged malnutrition causes the body to lose its stock of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. The body then starts to eat itself. The brain struggles to find energy, the heart shrinks, and the skin cracks, exposing the body to infections. The kidney and the liver then stop functioning properly, so toxins build up inside the body, leading to a vicious cycle of disease. Unable to breastfeed Fadl, Halabib gave him goat or camel milk, which lacked the nutrients of breast milk or formula. The newborn kept getting fever and diarrhea, so she repeatedly borrowed money to take him to the hospital in Mocha. Fadl's last visit to the hospital was last year, November 29th. At 8 months old, he weighs 6 pounds, a third of the normal weight. The circumference for his upper arm, a common measure for malnutrition, was 7 centimeters, less than 3 inches, indicating severe acute malnutrition. Unable to pay for hospital stay, his parents took him home. He gave his last breath not long after in the arms of his grandmother, while his parents were asleep on the floor. The grandmother then woke them up and told them their boy was dead. The only image of Fadl from his short life of hunger and pain is the video taken by the head of the nutrition center.
في اليوم وجبتين ما ناكلهاش، ناكل وجبة. ذات يعني مر علينا هذا قبل 3 أيام، يعني خلص علينا الراشن، قسينا من العشاء للعشاء ناكل. حرام الكذب، يعني الصدق الله غالب، مش إلا أنا، في كثير هنا خاص مني عادهم فيه. أيوة كذا بمنطقتي تلاقي يعني لا الجاهل يائس سابد، قال سي أنت ليه مش بتقوم تلعب؟ يقول لك أنا جوعان.
هذا على الحكومة نفسها وهذا على الأسرة. كلما كثرت نسبة سوء التغذية بتكون أقل غذائي لسوء التغذية. في معنا هنا حميات غذائية. نجيب الطفل للأم ونعطيه وهي موجودة فوق الوزن. هذه تدخل في علاج مرضى سوء التغذية.
حكومة وكذا
داخل محافظة
داخل محافظة.
طالما عندها اصلا لو نظرتي لها بتشوفي انها سوء تغذيه. اذا كان المشكله عندها فمعناته اذا كان الام سوء تغذيه فايش متوقعه منها انها تقدم للطفل؟ بروز فقرات العمود الفقري وبروز عظمه الكتف اضافه انه اذا بعدنا
Yemen is one of the countries that is still on the brink of famine, and it's these people, the women and children, who are the most vulnerable.